Still good to see him on the deck.
Michael, of course, lives here in the Phoenix area now, having come here to train with Bob Bowman in the lead up to the Rio Games. Phelps has the records in this one, the 400 IM. Chase Kalish, he took Olympic silver in the 400 IM last summer, 7/10 behind Japan's Kosuke Hagino. It snapped the U.S. streak of 5 straight Olympic gold medals in that event. And in lane 1, Jonathan Gomez of Colombia, when he was a youth, had a relative that was killed and his family escaped and moved to New Jersey. Jared Arroyo in lane 2 swims for Pitchfork Aquatics in Arizona. Itai Gurovic of Israel and the University of Louisville is in lane 3. And then Josh Prenot is in lane 4, the Olympic silver medalist in the 200 breast in Rio, and coming on strongly in this event. Look for Prenot in the 400 IM over the next few years. And then there's Chase Kalish. He said when that streak died, the U.S. winning the 5 straight Olympic gold medals, he said he was disappointed, but he's never been more excited to get back to work. Sean Grisham, 18 years old, out of Austin, 5th in the 400 IM at the U.S. Olympic trials last summer when he set the world junior record. Hector Rubalcaba of Mexico, 19 years old, in lane 7. And then in lane 8, Mark Jurek of the USC Trojans, and he is 19 years old. You talk all about Chase Kalish, the Olympic silver medalist in this event, but don't count out Josh Prenot.
Well, Josh Prenot certainly has the breaststroke to be right there. Now, if you're talking best times, though, Chase Kalish is head and shoulders ahead of everybody else in the field. In fact, he's about 6.5 seconds faster than Josh Prenot's best time of 4:13.1. So, but I think Prenot is just really starting to scratch, hasn't started scratching the surface of what he's capable of doing in this event.
They're both 23 years old, both Rio Olympians. Prenot winning the silver medal in the 200 breast. Kalish the silver in this event, the 400 IM. Kalish with a lead of 4/10 over Prenot. And appropriate that Phelps is showing up just now because Phelps is Kalish's mentor. Kalish says Phelps is like an older brother to him. He taught him to maintain composure, to respect the competition. And then Kalish moved to Arizona to train with Phelps and Bob Bowman last year.
Kalish is even staying at Michael's house this weekend. He's been a big influence in this young man's career, and having a good fly leg right there. And you know these guys are keeping an eye on what the rest of the world is doing. A couple of Japanese swim very, very fast. In fact, the Japanese have 3 of the 5 fastest times in the world this year. Hagino, the Olympic champion, is right there. Seto, who's also an Olympic finalist, is there. 2015 world champion. Varasto from Hungary. So they're all keeping an eye on that clock. And look at Chase Kalish now is the man for the United States in the 400 IM. But the United States, again, when you think about the 400 IM, you think about the IM, you think about Clary, you think about Phelps, you think about Ryan Lochte. Well, Clary and Phelps are no more, both retired. But Ryan Lochte's not done yet, but not sure he'll ever swim this event. But you got Jay Lilliland, Gunnar Bentz, Sean Grisham, a lot of names outside the swimming world are not familiar with, but this is certainly a new era for the 400 IM. And this is the guy that leads the pack, and look at this back right there. He is just destroying this field right now.
Lead of more than 2 body lengths over Josh Prenot as we transition to Prenot's specialty, the breaststroke. Chase Kalish in lane 5. And then Josh Prenot.
Wow, 102.3 on that 100 backstroke split. And Josh Prenot may be one of the best breaststrokers in the world, but he is not catching Chase Kalish. Not a chance, not even on the breaststroke leg here.
Kalish atop his game last month at the NCAAs. He won the 400-yard IM, setting the NCAA and American records in the process.
Yeah, fastest time in history in the 400-yard IM. I think he won't say this, but I think he probably has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. I think he was disappointed. They might let down some of the past Americans that had won that gold medal 4 in a row, but had nothing to hang his head about. 5 in a row, actually. He went 4:06.7 was leading for about 380 meters in that race until Higino just went by him at the end at 4:06 flat. So this is a guy, I can guarantee you, he is going to be there. 3:11 flat at the 300. Remember, the fastest time in the world this year is 4:10 flat. He was 1:10 plus there on the breaststroke leg. He is having a tremendous race.
That was David Verasto of Hungary in March, who set the top time in the world this year.
Well, look at the top time. 4:10 flat, 4:10.2, 4:10.4. Anything under 4:15, I would say right now would be a tremendous time. He's going to be way under 4:15.
But Chase Kalish is blowing this field away here. He has the lead in lane 5 in the 400 IM.
And he's looking a little bit like Katie Ledecky out there doing it all by himself in this freestyle leg.
What a great attitude he had after finishing with the silver, 7/10 behind Kosuke Higino. His time here, 4:11.01.
Wow. That
4th fastest in the world this year.
That is an impressive time. I think along with Nathan Adrian's 48.1, the single most impressive time we've seen, certainly tonight, and we may see all weekend. 4:11 flat, that's just tremendous. And remember the 3 guys ahead of him, 2 from Japan, 1 from Hungary, all rested and shaved at the respective World Championship trials, and we're still 74 days away from the start of the World Championship trials for the United States. So this guy was really special. I can't wait until we get to Indy to see this guy swim not only the 400 IM, but he's got 3 or 4 other events in his arsenal. 200 fly, 200 breast, 200 IM. This guy could be pretty special this summer.
And then in Budapest for the World Championships, Roddy, it's not Olympic Games, but you know he wants that gold.
Yeah, he really does. And you could see at the halfway point, he just made a huge statement that first half of the race. Kind of built on that first 200, had a great breaststroke leg. You see his backstroke right there. Very impressive, 103 plus on the back. And then look at this, running away with it. And Josh Pernot had a tremendous swim getting second, but look how far ahead Chase Kalish. What a great swim. And Chase, wow, when you looked up at the clock on that one, you had to be impressed with that swim.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I think I have a lot of things to work on, and I'm sure it's even more than I think that I need to work on when I watch the video. But for right now, it's just about racing as hard as I can, and I'm happy with my effort there.
So you go 4:11 flat, 4th fastest time in the world this year, and you say you have things to work on. What, can you name 1 or 2?
I think my general overall endurance. I don't think that I'm out of shape. I think just NCAA's happening when they did happen. I still have a lot of work to get back to where I was.
Right.
Well, your idol, your mentor, Michael Phelps, here watching you. You inspired by that?
Yeah, I just saw him right before I swam, and I saw Boomer, and the last time I saw Boomer was at the Olympics, and he got a lot bigger.
Well, you got a lot bigger in that swim, buddy. Congratulations. Tremendous job.
Thanks, Rowdy.
All right, that's Chase Kalish who wins the 400 IM. Josh Prenot, what a race. More than 6 seconds behind. And then Sean Grisha. Well, we've already seen Katie Ledecky in the women's 400 IM. What a double she has today. She's got the 200 free, and it's coming up next when we return to the Valley of the Sun.